Alright lads, it's pretty late, but have managed to finish the time mechanic. We have both the physical drums, where I create a copy of myself. You'll see my number has increased. And there's also the hijack, where I take control of one of the drones that was there at the moment of pulse. It's pretty sweet. So one of the uses to hijack someone is if you want to give instruction to your drone and go back in time. So let's say this drone is inactive now because it doesn't do anything. It's all like it's done with its actions. I can give actions to the number 2 drone. Yeah, I should record it. I messed up. Also, this is loud as all heck. Well, to be fair, I don't know which one's the real one anymore. I'm gonna have to do some cleaning up on the data on the left because we're keeping data from all the jumps forever at the moment. If you jump, you'll notice they actually do. So you can give instructions to a drone that is now deceased or unoperational. Through time. Now would have a better effect if you had a timer, and also a point of reference of other stuff that's jumping with you. But trust me, we are actually saving the entire state of the game at a single moment and jumping back to it, which is pretty sweet. Let's test something out. What if I create a branch and then I jump? You'll see the extra doesn't exist anymore because I annihilated that branch by jumping. Also, I think there may be multiple. Oh yeah, this is the bug. Interesting. When there's multiple level 3, if you're not the latest number, you will take. Okay, this is a slight bug. Okay, so let's slow down a bit. But this isn't that bad a problem to fix. We just need to get the highest, the drone size list before we jump. It's fine, actually. Should be fine. This is actually a really easy fix. I'll check that in the background. I'm doing some coding in the background in real time. Let me show you what I'm doing. Okay. So that's just the wrong screen. There we go. So what I'm doing is I'm getting the drone count over here. So count. This is the drone count, and instead of incrementing by 1, we will give the drone count -1, or call it the drone index. Do it over here, and then pass the drone index. And over here we can pass it the drone index for the new drone number. And then if I go back to Unity, this should have fixed the bug. Do some live debugging. So if I jump, and then I make a new pulse, hijack 0. Now, if I create a new range, I become 2 instead of becoming 1 and having multiples of the same number. And this is what's intended if you always create a new branch. So you always have the timeline number every time you split, but if you go back to a target, you don't change your number. But if I jump now, I'll be 4, the latest number. And I mean, I can spam this button a bit, but yeah, also if you go back to the same number, you won't change. That can be fixed, although not simply. For now, this does just fine. I'm just gonna have to create a bunch of pulses. So you see the design on the back actually gets more and more intricate. Well, really, it just gets some stuff around it. This is a mess. Please give me my pulse. So you can continue growing. I've made a bunch of numbers. More than you'll realistically need, because like there's so many drones on the battlefield, you may like even want to switch to 7 at that point and do some stuff. Of course, jumping is not free. It's not going to be free. It's going to be spending some resources to do it, and yeah, which means that we probably won't get to the overflow. Let's continue jumping. I do like the fact that my system is robust enough that I can do some hot fixes like I just did without having too much trouble. I knew exactly what the problem was and where to find it. It does help I built it from scratch, but I do find it actually like quite good. There's some shortcomings with keeping the world info and item velocity. Oh, also, ooh, yeah, exploded. Oh, that's another easy fix then. It's because the array is limited in size. I actually did put a. You saw for half a second that I had an overflow graphic on the back. If I come back to this thing, over here. My plan was to just stop them from jumping altogether, although the problem is it shouldn't have crashed yet, it should have crashed on the next jump. Which means there's a... Oh, I know what the problem is. So if you go back in what would be the time node in here? There's... Oh, actually, let me show you the code over here. If we look at my sprites over here. It's a mess, don't worry about it. If we look at the cerebrums over here, they go up to 35 and then 36. Right, so I put 36 in, but there's actually 37 because we started 0. So again, an easy fix. Come over here, switch that to 37, and then once we go back in the time manager, go over here. Ideally, I wouldn't want to add a drone to it. We need to stop it before it even gets there. So it's kind of hard to get it. Drones. Alright, so I can do this whenever, right? So I'm gonna do it at the start. Oh, actually, I need to do it here. Oh. Okay, I messed up now. There. So we lose the reference to the world data over here. Well, I can go in the pulse, and I do have the pulse controller. Oh, it's already the pulse controller. The pulse controller itself has the different drones that are there at the moment. So we can go in here, drones.count. Well, greater or equal doesn't really matter. And 37. I'm trying to do the math in my head. It's not that hard of math. It's just doing the index shift, but it's like 2 a.m. so my brain is fried. We have, so the max drone amount is 37. So 37 is fine. So if you're lower than 37, you do the jump thing, which, well, now we're gonna have to jump a couple times again to see if it'll work. Also, I should make my stuff serializable so I can hot swap stuff, but it's a pain in the ass, especially for the world data, so not gonna happen. Let's start jumping. Oops. Trying to break the game, or prevent it from breaking. Hi. There, so we get 35 and then 36. Shouldn't crash this time. There we go. Maybe we should change the graphics so it's more readable, but now we shouldn't be able to jump, but it will let us switch between the drones that are already existing. This is pretty cool. Alright. So we got it. On this note, I'm going to sleep. I have like 6-hour travel tomorrow. I'm not driving, but I'm going to be in the car. So I got to wake up early. In 6 hours, actually. So I'll see you around. But yes, I'm very happy with the progress we're making right now. What we really need to do now is just an arena shooter. My friend is already working on enemy AI and pathfinding and doing some, damage calculations. And we need to hook up a bunch of stuff, but I think we are on track. So, yep, gonna sleep now.